It's working. Okay.
My name is Estelle Fleischman. Today is Sunday the 13th of March 2016. My husband Mark, my daughter Mandy, we are all living in Plano, Texas.
Okay. Tell us about where your family originally came from and how did they get to South Africa, whatever you know about it.
Mark's family and my family were all from Lithuania. My father was born in Panovitz, my mother was born in Volkerman, and they went by ship to South Africa. Mark's grandparents were from Lithuania. They also shipped to South Africa, and his mom and dad were born in South Africa. My dad was smuggled out in a tea crate, and he never remembered any of this. And my mom went on a boat that was later used by the Germans as a U-boat.
Wow, that's history.
Yep. And they all settled in South Africa. My mom met my dad in South Africa, got married. Mark's parents met in South Africa and got married there.
Now you were saying you were from a small town that is written about by a famous author. Tell us about that.
Okay. I was born in Krugersdorp, and my whole life was spent in Krugersdorp. I only moved to Johannesburg when I went to university. So from the hospital to every bit of surgery was done in Krugersdorp. It was a big thing. Mark was from Johannesburg.
And tell us a little bit about what was memorable about your life growing up there.
We had a really privileged, wonderful childhood. We had all the freedom we wanted to. We didn't know about the ugly things that were going on around us. We had phenomenal education. All of us played sport. We lived a really healthy, good life. And it didn't matter if you had money, no money, you just lived it was just a healthy, good environment. And I'm just so grateful that we actually had it.
What Jewish traditions can you think of that you had in your childhood or that your parents brought with them?
Oh, my dad was a daily shul goer, every morning and every night. All our families, very conscious of Friday night is Friday night. Shabbos on a Friday night is what it is. All the holidays are observed. And there's a very tight tradition that came with them, and fortunately that we've all managed to maintain. And hopefully the next generation will carry it on.
How important was Israel to you?
Very. I'm very pro-Zionist. So, but I think all the South Africans are. The Jewish South Africans are, and that kind of upset me in America, because I don't think that they have that feel for Israel like the South Africans do. I really don't.
What do you think makes for that?
I think maybe because we have so many family members who are living there. That might be one of it, and I think a lot of it is media. We grew up in a very pro-Zionist environment, and we don't have the same here.
So you said you went to college in Johannesburg, and at what point in time were you thinking that perhaps you weren't going to stay in the country?
I wanted to leave like quite soon after we got married. Mark was not that sure. But I just saw the writing on the wall. I was not an optimist. I think, and it was more a security perspective. When you have children, your ideas just change, because security and education became a major, major issue for us. And we decided that those were our priorities and we had to do something about it.
How old were you then at that time?
We left 18 years ago, so 36, 37. But for a while I'd wanted to go. The crime had just gotten really bad, and it was time to move on.
So tell us about the process. How did you pick where you were going to go and any connections you may have had, etc.?
Well, we were so lucky. Mark worked for a bank, and they used a specific computer system, and he was instrumental in upgrading the system in South Africa. It was the first upgrade in the world, and this was all done in South Africa, and he was in charge of that project. So the company was based in Dallas, the company whose software it was, and he was offered a transfer to work for this bank and to head the operations of the software company, to be the go-between for the South African and the American. That then changed because of the Rand-dollar exchange. The Rand tanked, and he was just incredibly lucky where he landed up with the job, and we had the opportunity to stay, and it was a no-brainer.
Had you been here before to the United States?
Yes, I came once for like a fleeting visit, a real fleeting visit, and Mark had been here a few times for working. And that was his dream. His dream was always, if he was going to leave South Africa, to go to the States, and Dallas was where the job was, and this is where we landed up.
So in the process of deciding to leave, did anybody else get the same inspiration you did? Time to go?
Oh, a lot of my family, and Mark's family. I have a brother in London. I have a sister in South Africa. She was planning to go to England. She was married to a dentist. My brother's a dentist in London. And he unfortunately got very ill, and he passed away soon after they'd made the decision to leave. So she stayed behind. She had 3 little kids at the time. Mark's family, one had the opportunity to come, and they decided not to come, and then the others just didn't have the opportunity, and they tried, but it just didn't work out. So we were very lucky.
Are your parents still alive? Both of you?
My parents are not. Mark's parents are both alive, all in South Africa.
So do you have an opportunity to go back and visit every so often?
We've just come back. We've just come back. We never went for a long time, and then my mom got really ill, so I was up and down. It was crazy, like 5 times in 11 months I did the trip. It was a little bit hectic. But we've just come back from a fantastic family visit, really. For the first time ever, the whole Fleischman family were together, because when we left, some weren't even born yet.
Oh, wow.
So we were really all together. It was very special.
That's great. What were some of your experiences and adjustment type issues coming to Dallas that you can think of?
The heat. We weren't used to that. Driving on the wrong side of the road.
You mean the right side of it?
Even things like the toilets flushed a different way. Your light switches were a different way. It was just little things. Opening doors was the other way. Also language, people really didn't understand us that well. We speak English, they spoke American.
And then people speak Texas.
Oh boy, and Texas is a language on its own.
Right.
Y'all. But we really were very, very lucky, because we moved into a fabulous neighborhood, straight into the school system with my daughter, so that was so easy. That was just an adjustment, and people just welcomed us with open arms.
Where were you when you first moved here? What area?
We went to Dallas for a year.
Mm-hmm.
We were in an apartment just off Montfort. So Mandy went to Anne Frank Elementary, and it was brand new.
Right. I know the principal there.
Is she?
Johnny's.
She's still there?
She may have just retired.
She was fabulous. She really was fabulous.
Good.
And then when Mandy finished 5th grade, we came to Plano so she could start middle school.
Good, okay. What about religious education? Did you have them in a synagogue or in a religious
Chabad.
school?
We go to Chabad in Plano.
Okay.
So we were I worked there actually for a little bit. I volunteered half my life there.
Yes.
So we were very involved, very involved. Then I got a real job. when I was allowed to start working.
Where did you work?
I still do. I work as a bookkeeper up in North Dallas. So
You said when you were allowed. How long did it take? What was that process about getting the ability to work here?
our work authorizations took, Mark was on a visa, mine took 10 years to come through. Citizenship, 15 grueling years. But so worth it. So worth it.
That's long.
Yeah, it was. Living on one salary, you got to put a kid through college. It's not easy, but you know what? You put your mind to it, you can do it.
Did you want to, or have you participated in any other type of Jewish activities in Dallas?
You know, well, I'm involved in Chabad when they have stuff going. Not really. You know, most of the stuff happens so south of where we are. If there was a JCC here, I mean, we were first in line to be going there, and then that all fell through, which was really very, very sad. But it's fun, and I know that if I make a commitment, I've got to make that commitment and do it. And going out there all the time is actually not easy. It just isn't. So, unfortunately, no.
Okay. What about in the Dallas community at large? Have you tried to, or you or your husband gotten involved in anything secular or civic-minded?
We've done, so we've really done a lot. We really do. We're involved in bike rides and walks and delivering meals, and we've done a lot. We've done a lot of stuff here. Okay. So we just, I like community involvement. Mm-hmm. I do. I think it's very, very important.
You said you have your daughter Mandy, right?
Yes.
Do you have any other children?
No, just
the one daughter. And where is she now? What is she doing?
She's in New York.
Oh, okay.
She was here, did very nicely in Plano, went to university in Oklahoma, worked for a couple of years in Oklahoma and Stillwater, and then was looking to move back here to get a job, and interviewed with American Airlines as a flight attendant, and she landed the job, and she's based out of New York, flying all over the world.
Wow.
Having the time of her life.
Good.
She's young.
I guess she gets to fly back here whenever she wants to.
Oh yeah, she's here regularly.
That's good. That's good.
So yeah, she's really just making the most of this opportunity.
Can you think of any specific South African traditions that you've brought here with you that you've carried on, and maybe Mandy will carry on?
Friday nights. Friday night is Friday night. Just, you know, just observing the Yom Tevim. I'm just trying to think. We're just very traditional. Mm-hmm. Just very, very traditional.
Now, you said you still have family and friends still in South Africa, and at this point, potentially, doesn't sound like you're not hoping that anybody's going to be coming over anytime soon.
I can't see it happening.
No.
I really can't.
Okay. No. Is there anything you can think of specifically that you miss about your life in South Africa?
You know, I used to. I miss the bush and the safaris. I do miss that. And I mean, South Africa is beautiful. Cape Town is beautiful. But other than that, no. I just think we've just adapted here so easily, and it's really been a very easy transition, thankfully, because I know some people have really battled. So I do miss the nature, and I do miss the weather, and obviously you miss the people. But I'm here. This is home.
If you had anything to change, if you could change anything about the whole way you came over here or settling in, would there be anything that comes to mind that you would have changed?
If we were able to bring some money out with us, it would have been easier. We arrived with, I'll tell you now, $10,000 and 2 suitcases each, and our stuff was in storage, and that's how we started off. So yeah, I think if we'd had a little bit of money, it would have helped, but you do it. You do what you got to do.
You mentioned citizenship. What does it mean to you to be a U.S. citizen?
Oh, I'm so proud to be an American. I really am. South Africa changed a lot, and we came here, and I mean, the freedom, even with 9/11, whatever, the freedom and the opportunity that is here, you just got to make use of it, and boy, you can just do so well. I'm not going to say you might be wealthy, but you can really live a nice life if you are prepared to make the effort. And America has offered that to us, and I think certainly offered it to Mandy. I'm absolutely grateful for what she's had. And we've just been really, really lucky. And people have been phenomenal. They've been so welcoming, and we're very involved in the sporting community, and that's just a fantastic community to be part of. And everybody's just always there for each other, and very few of our friends have families here. We are all just everybody else's family, and it's fantastic.
Are they from different places also?
All over.
All over.
All over.
Oh.
It's really
So you've created your own family environment.
Yeah, you do. So it's, as I say, we're very grateful to be here. It's really been good.
Good. Before we end, is there anything else at all you'd like to say or add?
I think that this is an amazing project that you people are doing. This is and it's costing us because you've really got me going now.
Genealogically,
to back all my roots and to do what we got to do. I think this is absolutely fabulous, and thank you to all who are organising it, because it's great.
Thank you
it
very
really
much.
is great.
Thank you to people like you. It makes it work. Thanks so much.